Steve Maribor said that when your mindset changes, everything changes along with it. The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, you can do it. And as long as you really believe 100%, said by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Limitation lives only in our minds. But if we use our imaginations accurately, properly, our possibilities becomes limitless, said by Jamie Paolo Litnetti. So if you change the way you look at things around you, situations, challenges, obstacles, the things you look at will change, said by Wayne Dyer. So on this note, I want to welcome our second speaker, Dr. Mike Litman, the speaker, trainer, coach, global thought leader, president and founder and CEO of Mike's International. Thought leader, leadership management, entrepreneurship coach, goose-bumping motivational and keynote speaker, moderator, storyteller, satisfied in NLP, MPM, CPD, a life and success coach. Dr. Mike Litman is also obsessive standard American accent modification, elimination, and clear speech therapist, natural spoke English trainers, officer member, International Human Rights Commission, IHRC. Is also the vision harmony among human masses, having diversified cultures, creeds, and religion. Speaking English language course for kindergarten, American sound training for kids, therapist training, standard American accent eliminations training, speaking English for beginners, speaking English for advanced, any form of English. This great man, Mr. Doctor, can teach you, lead you, and guide you. He has been a guest speaker and brand ambassador at Nama University, Success Mindset, Chapter Discover Pakistan, Strive of Life. The power of business mindset, power of business mindset, power of winning business mindset. Wow, everything is mindset, just like me. So we are going to work together. He also been trained, he has a training expertise in soft skills training program, train the trainers, motivational speakers, and public speaker, sales motivation, motivation for quarter success, social entrepreneurship, social storytelling, from rags to riches story. Wow, 100 stories. Maybe one of these days we will need to invite him to come and share some of these stories. Right. So, and many, many more. Also, 360-degree English language training programs. So he is multi-skills, industrious, creative, intelligent, leader of leaders. And he is also the chief guest speaker at Darling Westman, consultant, Microsoft, Malida Gate Foundation, and U.S. Army. 5 days event on trauma at John C. Maxwell. Oh, wow. One of my great leaders and mentor. He's also the guest speaker at FM Planet 87.6. 22 reasons why educated people are broke and success mindset. Many, many more. What can I say? If I keep on reading and reading and reading and sharing all his profile, we'll be here a whole day. So let me welcome Dr. Mike Litman. You are welcome.
Highly appreciated, Dr. Elizabeth. Like, it's been really an honor. Like I'm joining you back on the board. I'm feeling so elated, proud, thrilled, and most importantly, like, I'm feeling a lot of, I'm feeling empowered. You're really right out my like whole perspective, like on my achievement. So I was like really looking back, wow, like I've been doing a lot seriously. Well, so today I'm feeling so honored. Why? Because today I want to talk about like how can you lead once you are a business or any kind of business. So it's about leadership today. So my most favorite topic, and I've been really giving my talks for last couple of decades. And we all have a lot of gratitude for John C. Maxwell and a lot of other people like you already have been contributing a lot on this particular thing. So what I could
Wait,
learn like after my
can I humbly
uh,
stop you for a second? We are
yeah,
looking at the background reflecting your dress. So we don't know if you can adjust something there. We can see the background, but your dress is mixed up with your background. So maybe you need to move something somehow. Okay,
uh,
you understand what I mean?
no, I couldn't understand. So can't you see me right now with
Yes,
my back?
maybe you need to move away from your slides. I mean, move away from your background, something like that. I don't know. Maybe you need to move away a little bit. Yeah, I think that is better. Thank
All
you.
right, all right, all right. No problem. No problem at all. Right? I'm feeling great. So, well, so the point is, we are giving a talk today about leadership, and again, we are pretty lucky. Why? Because we are given a talk on most important the content like we're going to share is absolutely on average. Leader, to me, like what I could learn, leader, if you want to lead, then lead like Jesus. And the reason why, because if you look at the Jesus work, Jesus, so lead like Jesus or lead like God. The reason why, because I believe the God is giving, God is forgiving, and God is forgetting. And then again, like God comes back to the giving. So we have a greatest relationship with the God, and the God is always on the giving end. To me, what I could learn in my last couple of decades, the leader is a person actually uh, who does not exist. Or we can't see him most of the time. And when we accomplish something, we feel like we have done it from ourselves. Like this is uh, the feeling. This is what we could, what I could like believe in, like what the leadership is. So if you want to lead again, so lead like Jesus, always on a sacrifice. And today, for some time, I gotta be agronomist because I will let you know. For this purpose, I just need to share my screen.
Yes, you can.
That's yeah. So I want to show you if you can see there is
We can see
one.
it, but can you enlarge it? Can you make it full? Just a button on top of your slides, if you can see it on top. That looks like a TV stand.
What's it?
The very top icons that you can see, there's one of them.
Can't you see on the screen now?
Yes, perfect.
All right. All right. So uh, if you can see right now, there is one sugar cane on my screen. And to me, what I could learn, and I've been talking, giving my talk to a lot of corporate and NGOs, all right, and from small to the large corporation and the companies. So what I could see, and I could get it, learn from my one ancestors, you know, and he has a very special kind of wisdom. And One day I asked him, can you please define the leadership? And he says, I don't know about the leadership, but I know one thing about the leader. I said, what? And he told me leader is like a sugar cane. That's why like I could pick up that story for you people. If you can look at the sugar cane, so sugar cane has a great story. If you look at the life story, once you sow its seed and it grows up and it becomes like the long 10 feet long tree of sugar cane. And if you can see its life story. So here we have a great picture. If you can see at the top, like there are, you know, the branches of that sugar cane, and there's a middle part, and then you see the roots part, right? And the most important part is the inner node, where we can get the juice of it, right? So the purpose of sugar cane is to get the sweetness of it, right? And the greatest thing about sugarcane is because sugarcane from day one to by end of the day, it's always useful if you see. So the top branches, the top part of the sugarcane is mostly once it has a long life, means you knock down the tree of sugarcane, all right? So it's a long time when you grow it up and when it's been available and it's the right time to take its juice when it's ripe up. So what happens? The top branches of the sugarcane is taken by the animal. So we knock it down and we cut up from the top part and we give it as a fodder to the animals. And we take it, it's the middle part, and the roots part is still up there, which we uninstall later on and we use it to burn the sugar cane, okay? And then we transform from the sugar cane, the molasses, what we call it, the jaggery, you know. So what's the process? What happens? We take out that sugar cane and the top part is taken by the animals. They love to eat it. And the lower part, we store it on a separate, right? We store it. And the middle part of the sugar cane, the inner node, it's node, we put it into the crushing machine and we get its juice. And we make this process, we process it 2 or 3 times, and then we get its juice. And then the lowest part, what we call its roots, we burn it and we put the sugar cane juice in a big colander and we put it up on and like on a burner, all right? So we are using the lowest part. The upper part is taken by the animals and the lowest part is used to burn it, right? So what happens? We cook that juice and we convert it, we transform into the sugar. And if you see uh, the upper part, okay, and the north part, we just scratch it and we use it for the animals. The lowest part is taken by, we use it to burn it. So by end of the day, if we see and when we take the juice, so the extravagant part, which is now the middle part, now it becomes extravagant part, and we burn it along with the roots. So now there is no more sugar cane. So the whole sugar cane tree is being utilized. We utilize it. And what we get from the sugar cane, we get its molasses, we get sugar from it, and then we put the sugar in all eatable items, what we call it the sweet items, or we use it everywhere in our so many products. If you look at a story, so the sugar cane is no more there, but its sweetness is everywhere. And we can use its sweetness in all products. By end of the day, there is no sugar cane. It has a life, it had a life, but now its life is over. We can't see sugar cane, but we can see its impact everywhere. And we love to eat sugar items. We use that sugar everywhere. Sometimes we take its byproducts, we use it in products directly, all right. But we are using that sugar everywhere, but there is no sugar cane. So that's what we can define the leader. And this is what the Jesus is. This is what the God is. We can't say but he is everywhere in us in our life, He is impacting in our life everywhere. So it was the life of sugar cane, and we can learn it a lot. So well, what I could learn from that my grandpa, what the leader is. So the leader is nowhere. We everyone on the globe, like we enjoy its taste, we buy it, we sell it, and we can see so many products, big sweetened with the condensed sugar. Sugar is everywhere, like in the products, but we can't see it. By end of the day, there's no life of leader, there's no life of sugar, there's no lifestyle of it, but it's used everywhere. So leader is just like a sugar cane. So and a lot of people, they really appreciate and they adore the guy I'm talking about. That's beautiful soul, Sundar Pichai. When he was hired by the company, he was hired uh, almost like right now, even you see, he is charging 167,000 US dollars per month. And if you can see, just in 2023, he was getting 2 million per year. So why he was selected as a leader for the company, Google, like everywhere, like if you just type something in a Google, so it gives you the millions of information, the millions of pages. So what was the quality in that beautiful soul, in that beautiful guy? I'm talking about the Sundar Pichai, why he was hired for the largest company. And I just want to share a story like why he was hired. So a lot of people, I would be expecting like, the Google team would have been asking so many tough questions, and maybe the Google company, I would ask him in like, how can you win over the competitor? How can you increase the profitability, and how can you overcome the expenses? How can you reduce expenses? No. The Google team asked him very interesting question. Google team asked him, what was your biggest fear and how did you overcome that fear? The most important question. And if you are a CEO, if you are a company leader, so it's the greatest question for you. And it's going to be like a good story. Sundar Pichai was given almost 45 minutes. It was asked like, okay, you're 45 minutes and you can give your presentation on that most important question, that what was your biggest fear and how could you overcome that fear? So he said, my biggest fear was my hard work. My biggest fear was my hard work, because when I was growing up, because pretty well, like he born in a very vulnerable part in India where he born, like, and he was bringing water and he was helping his parents. He had a lot of miserable life in the beginning in his life, and he was listening a lot of stories around him that if you go to work hard, then you go to be biggest success. And I knew like maybe 99% people believe in that if you go to work hard, if you're going to be just workaholic, that means you're going to be the biggest success. And he said, my biggest fear was my hard work. And I've been listening like a lot to my teachers, my ancestors, my parents, and everyone around me. Like they were telling me, if you're going to be working so hard, you're going to be the biggest success. And he said, like, it was just a myth in my life. Why? Because when I started on my company, I was believing the same. So I was doing marketing, sales, research, and I was doing like all kind of B2B and B2C, all kind of business. And I was looking at the administration. I was looking into each and everything for my company when he started off. So I was looking, and then because I had a belief, like I gotta be working hard. So I was giving all my 100% time like to the company, but I was not getting that right outcome. So what I could do in that time, I hired a team, and with the help of that team, I could get a lot of things done with my people, and I was taking the most impactful, the thing what I could do in my life. So I was doing I downsized my work. I was even like going for the errands. I was doing each and everything for the company. But this time I was only one. Then I took more people along with me, and I delegated my work to my people, and they started to work for me. And I just learned like how to get the work done from my people. So that was my biggest strength. I started to work in a team, and later, like when so he was been not been hired, it's been rejected by all top great tycoon companies. But later on, just because of this, he was hired for the Google company because of this particular thing. And one more thing I want to share right now within a quick time, because the Sundar Pichai, like he told them like one more on to responding one more question. He said, I learned one more thing that I don't need to react, okay, to the things, to the problems. I learned like how to respond. So how it happens like one day he was just drinking a cup of coffee in the big Borges restaurant where most of the Americans like love to go there and love to drink coffee there. So he was taking a coffee and he noticed it was a great restaurant and it was like quite neat and clean, all right, and there was no nuisance and mostly like he loved to get out there sometime with Ainsley, sometime alone. So he was just taking a cup of coffee and on the floor in the restaurant, and one butterfly, one cockroach came up into that floor, and it
I
flew
think you
and
need to
came up.
increase your volume.
Yeah,
We can't hear you. Something changed with your voice. Can you increase your volume?
all right. Just wait a second.
It just changed just now.
Uh,
Okay, continue. We just have
all
to.
right, yeah, I would speak louder, no problem.
Okay.
All right. So So what happened that that cockroach, it's so seriously miserable once cockroach come into the restaurant on the floor. But anyway, it came and it was flying here and there and it just sat on the one lady's shoulder because she was sitting calm and peaceful and she was just sitting so calmless, all right, so comfortable. And what happened, like that cockroach came and sat on her shoulder and when she noticed that there's a cockroach on my shoulder, and she started to make a noise and she started to shout, she was crying and she was so, it was definitely, this was a hilarious situation. And but in the meanwhile, what happened that cockroach flew from there and it came onto another man who was sitting so calmly and he was he was sitting peacefully, all right. So the cockroach came and sat on his coat and when that guy noticed on the cockroach, he did the same. All right. And he was crying, shouting, he was making a noise. And after some time, that cockroach flew from there and went on to another lady who was sitting so peacefully. So what happened in the meanwhile, the Sundar Pichai was looking at the janitorial guy, like who was standing in the door, and he was just looking at him. That why that waiter is not coming like to help. He was just looking at him, and he was looking on the floor. And after some time, and he was standing just in the door peacefully and calm, and he was totally moveless. He stopped moving. And what happened in the meanwhile, like the cockroach came across and flew and sat over his shoulder. And he just took the tissue paper from his pocket and he just picked it up and threw it from the window. So, what was the story that we need to respond as a leader like that waiter who was standing in the door, all right, and he was looking to, he was analyzing and he was looking at the situation like what's happening. What was the key? The cockroach was sitting only on the person like who was peaceful, who was calm, who was not really moving. So that's what he could learn that we need to respond. We don't need to react like everyone was reacting over that cockroach whenever he was coming over someone's shoulder or over someone. So uh, we need to learned one thing as a leader, that we are born to respond. We are not born to react, because we're going to have a lot of problems and challenges and situations in our life. So we going to be responding. So I have one more story. I'm just moving to my that subject, my topic. Uh, I'm pretty sure if you have not joined yet, so you can join in. If you have joined right now, so there's a lot of things are coming up for all of you in this leadership uh, style of leadership in business. So I met a guy. This is what I could learn a leadership in my life, and it could really have an impact on my life. Why? Because we most of the time we feel like we today we need service arts in our business, and along with service art, we have the skills, so we can splash and we really can get everything whatever we are looking forward. So there is a great story happened. I personally experienced that. Was used to go on one coffee and the tea shop, and there was a guy. He was not having that great grasp, but anyway, like it was not so big a coffee shop. But I talked to him that I like your tea, and that you are selling a tea. That's really a great business. And he told me, no, sir, I'm not selling a tea. I said, what? You're not selling a tea? And I told him, like you see, a lot of people that are like they are sitting in your restaurant, there's a small restaurant, and they're taking your tea. He said, no, sir, I'm not selling a tea. I'm selling a health. Wow. I said, how? How can you claim it that you are selling a tea? He said, why? Because I have my own animals, I have my own fresh milk. So I put that milk into the tea, and that's why like I'm selling a health. I said, then what will happen if you're gonna sell a health? He told me that if I go to sell a health, the people are sitting up here, they're going to be more healthy. I said, then he said, if they people are going to be more healthy, it means like they're going to be working more hard and more hard. I said, then he said, if they're going to be working more hard, they would get more money. I said, then he said, like if they're going to get more money, they can give this money to the family, to the children, and they're going to be more happy. Again, success begins at home. I said, why? What you feel like if they're going to be happy at home? He said, if they're going to be happy, so that person would be more happy, and the family at home, they're going to be more attention to him, and he can work more. I said, then you see, he's going to get work more, and of course, like they're going to be more money, and they're going to be coming back to my this restaurant. So success begins at home, and we need to develop a service heart, okay, with a basic skills. Okay, so the business skills. So here I really need to code before we understand like there are so many styles for leadership in a business, all right? But before this, we need to understand the foundational work of leadership. So here I need to put some 5 P's from John C. Maxwell, godfather of godfathers in leadership. So the first leadership position is a positional leadership. In the positional leadership, what happens when you get a job, when you get a seat, when you are appointed in an organization as a leader, all right, you get the leadership position. But I want to tell you, a lot of people in their life, they start from that leadership position, positional leadership, and they quit or they get retired from that positional leadership job. Reason why? Why? Because they are not putting the right recipe into it. Leadership is not about uh, that you get to work somewhere and you close or at the same state, because this is what's happening all over the globe. We are really suffering from these particular 5 foundational work on leadership. So if you start your work on the position, so what happens? So the real purpose of all these leadership skills or to we get to work on these 5 P's. So the basic purpose is to earn the real respect. So this is what the real connection. So the real connection with your people, because if you have 40% people, if they are thinking like you, if they are ready to work like you in your company, it means like you are earning collaborability, you are earning that with that connection, you are earning that leadership. So the purpose of leadership is, especially when you're talking about the corporate context or in any business context. So we need to help. Being a leader, you come first because with a leadership, company falls and grows. So what is your leadership? What is your level, right? So here you will find your level, all right, and then you will learn like what kind of style of leadership you can apply into the business, all right. So this is what like mostly people get started to work from the position level, and it means people going to follow you. Okay, why? Because they have a fear that if we are not going to follow to our leader, all right, so maybe we're going to be fired, all right. So people, they are securing their job and they are not ready to quit from a company, all right. They have only this beautiful job. That's why, they are always saving and securing that position. That's why they are supposed to follow their leader. So that's what not the leadership is, all right. I know even in today's world, the leadership definition is in crisis. But so here, a lot of people they start their work from the position and they quit from the position. But being a leader, you need to help more people around you because you need to know what your inner circle and you can help them to grow with you. So at the position level, you can't uh, you can't actually win the people's heart. People are not following you from bottom of their heart. Why? Because they are just managing their work. They are just supposed to follow you because if you are not following you, so you will quit from the job. So that's why on the position level, people are not earning the real respect, the real connection. And if you have no that connection, of course, the company won't grow. So the next level is a permission level. At this level, what happens that maybe you have experienced with your employees and you've been working with them for last couple of years or maybe for 1 year. So the time factor is the key out here. So with the passage of time, what happens, people start following you, people start embracing you, but still you don't earn respect at this level, right? Why? Because if you ask your internal client, I mean your employees, if you ask them to stay at the office for some long hours, so they may be good to stay with you because now you have earned a little bit relationship at this level. All right. So even at this level, like there is no such kind of leadership. Still, we are suffering even at this level. So people, maybe you would ask them, okay, we need to give some extra time, and tomorrow I want you to come a bit before the time. Why? Because we have some tough tasks or more assignments. Why? Because now you have a relationship, so people are supposed to follow you, but still there is no leadership. Still there is no connection. Seriously, now there is no the bottom heart respect. So the next level is the production level. At this level, what happened? You 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 become like you perform, and uh because you could contribute into your company, into the business, and people they have a little bit of respect for you. Why? Because my boss is good, my leader is great. Why? Because he is inculcating into the business, and because of him we all are getting some bonus or the commission. So now people have little respect for you, but still there is no leadership. And next level is people development. At this level, because you once you joined in a company or in a business, you were not so much trained and you came up with a certain kind of skills. But now your leader is supplying and providing you the development, training and development, and you feel you're feeling like I am not the same person. I'm really bringing more skills into my life, and you start giving little respect to that leader, but still there is no respect. Still there is no leadership out there. So that's the final level. Like we everyone need to understand as a leader, that is a pinnacle level. At this level, what happens, even leader isn't there in the company, right? And maybe he is busy somewhere, but still people in the company, they are working in that credible in the credibility because now you have in all that trust as a leader, and the people they get ready to work extra and they work for you now. And how can you earn this pinnacle level? Because uh, by the end of the day, your basic job is to earn that pinnacle level. All right. So that's a personhood level. Uh, And it only can happen when you start helping people in the personal domain. Most of the time, like the pinnacle level leaders, they are ready to attend the birthday parties of their internal clients. They are ready to attend their funeral ceremonies. Even they are ready to question them for their personal challenges, what they are facing up at home. Why? Because by end of the day, everything happened with a service heart. So with a service heart, you can really win the people's confidence and people's attention, and people will trust you more, and their self-esteem would be very high for the company, and they would be giving more contribution. Uh, they're going to be giving extra because now you have a connection, and they feel people, internal clients start feeling like, okay, so the boss is great. He's always looking into my personal issues. So by end of the day, the personal connection matters a lot, whatever the size of organization and whatever the nature of our organization is. So being a leader, there's one beautiful law, and that's a law of the lid. The law of lid mean what is the level of leader, what is his capability and competency. Because the law of lid says, I'm just assuming like there is it's a leader, all right, and on my left hand there is maybe you can see it's a right hand, okay, so it's a right hand. So but this is a business, all right. So the law of lid says, because your business, size of your business will grow only when the level of leader is high, all right. So leadership falls and gets high on the level of leader. So being a leader, leaders are never perfect. So they're always growing up, no matter what, like they're always ready to learn. They're always ready to go on to the next step. So the law of lid says, because first we need to understand what is the lid of leader. I mean, what is the capability of leader? So I'm just assuming like if there are the 10 points, so leader needs to know what is his lid. Because if this is a lid, it means, and this is a business. So if the level of leader out of 10, if he is acquiring level of 5 or level of 2, so the business would never go higher than your lead, then your capability, then your personal ability, because ability matters a lot here. So we have to work a lot on developing the ability. So ability is just like the lead, okay? And if the leader is on lid number 5, because there are 10 points, all right? So as the leader is growing up and up, so the business level is going up and up. And if the leader level is going up like this much, the 10, so of course, so the business level would grow up. It can't cross your level of lid. So you need to know as a leader, like, what's your lid level? What's your number? All right, so the most important thing being a leader you need to develop is first you need to know what's your lid level. And question number 2 is you need to make an assessment about it, right? What's your level? And then you gotta be ready to develop yourself. You gotta be ready to increase to get it's higher and higher, right? You gotta work on yourself a lot. So at the same time, your business definitely will grow up. So if the level of leader is not going up, so the level of business is definitely would be coming down. So next thing what you need to know is what is the level of lead the people you have in your inner circle, because I told you like the 40% people in your company must be thinking like you. They must be your reflection, even those people, because they're thinking like you and you have developed them as the greatest, the personhood level leaders in your company. They are thinking just like you, and they are quite aware with the vision, with the mission and the goals and the processes of the company. So they are quite understood with it. And you ask them about your leading, all right? Because they're going to be your reflection and you're going to be their reflection. So they are ready to grow up with you. And if you have 60% people in your company, if their lead level is just like you, so I want to tell you, then you become Toyota, Honda, you become Microsoft, you become Apple, and you become the top tycoon company. So you get everyone informed about you. So you need to work on the lead of the people. First, you need to know what's their lead level, and then you must provide training to them to grow up and to increase their lead, because it's all about the leverage what you are getting by lifting you up. As much you going to lift you up yourself, your company would definitely would grow up and would be lift up to that situation. You know what happens? Different top icon companies, what they do in their business. If you see Mark Zuckerberg, we all are so much thankful, the greatest guy. So what kind of capability and abilities they have developed in their life? Even the Sundar Pichai, and if you see uh, the Mark Zuckerberg, if you see Bill Gates, if you see Warren Buffett, all top icon companies, they have one thing very common in their life. They are ready to be criticized. What they have developed, and they are not helping their company to grow up from failing to success. They are helping their company to grow from excuses to success, because as a leader you are ready to excuse, you are ready to embrace. If you are making mistake, you are ready. So what the Toyota or the all top companies or the Facebook, the chairman, Mark Zuckerberg, what they do, what they have, whenever they come up with any idea to develop their company, whenever they hit an idea, so they come onto uh, the meeting board and they write an idea over there, right on top of the board, and then they ask, they are ready to be criticized by the people. All right, their inner circle, even the company leaders, they are ready to be criticized. They ask them, hey, please, this is a problem, all right? This is a problem statement. So I want you to criticize me and help me to go and to conclude better things. The same thing is happening in the Toyota. In Toyota, if you can't find out mistakes from the processes, if you can't criticize the processes, you are out of the work. You're going to be out of the work. Why? Because you have been hired as a leader to criticize the work. The positive criticism is required to criticize the process. Why? Because in a company, you want to get best out of that company, the best idea they want to float into the market. So this is what happened once. Sundar Pichai one day, he was invited in a party at night, and I was supposed to attend the party at 8 o'clock. And he talked to Anjali. Angela, like, okay, we are invited in the party, so you please go from home. I would come from the company. All right, and they decided. So right at 8 o'clock, so the Anjali went onto the board, went into the party, and when Sundar Pichai, he was coming on the way, he lost the way. He lost the way. And when he lost the way and he got late and he reached in the company at 10 o'clock, at 10 o'clock when he took the call from Angela said, I just got back home, the party is over. And he came back home and Angela like had a big great fight with her. And the reason of fight was why? Because why did you get late? Because you were invited. I was just accompanying you, and he said because I lost the way. And that night, like actually never allowed her like to stay at home. And soon they like went back to the office, and the whole night he was thinking about like what I can do, what could happen. Like a lot of people, if they would lost their destination the way, so what would happen? Maybe they would have the same feeling. They would be going through the same miserable situation. Well, the next day he invited all the leader and he told them the issue like this is what happened with me. So we need to find a solution. Like if someone is traveling and can't find the way, and people are suffering if you can't find your proper way, so you can't be reaching onto the destination in time. So they spend almost more than 80 hours and they can find that uh, Google Navigator. And now you can travel everywhere. You can put that navigation in your car and it's telling you like wherever you want to go. It can tell you, even it can tell you where are you sitting right now if you ask that Google Navigator. So I believe the leaders, like they are innovating the stuff and things on the basis of feelings and emotions and other things. This is what the most missing part I missed in my last training. So this is what I want to share. So the law of leader, we need to uplift as a leader ourselves, and we are never perfect. There's only leaders are imperfect in the world. So the law of lead would help you to lift your company. So you're going to work in more and more. on the leadership on your list. Okay, so here is one more law. This is the law of E.F. Hutton law. It's out of the 21 irrefutable law from the John C. Maxwell. And according to this law, the leaders are listened. All right. So the E.F. Hutton was the financial broker. He had a company of E.F. Edward F. Hutton Company, and they pitched in one TV commercial, and from that TV commercial, he got the popularity that E.F. Hutton uh, is listened. All right, so people are ready to listen in, and he got that popularity, and we extracted that particular line that the E.F. Hutton is listen. All right. So when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen in. So because of this law, so being a leader, we need to develop that particular capability that you must be listened. And you only can be listened once you are polite. The biggest thing like we are missing. This is a dilemma in today's world being a leader. We are not being properly listened because people only listen you once till you are polite. And once you're not polite, people stop listening to you, right? So we need to develop kind of communication skill, like how to be listened. And definitely your body language matters a lot. Even today's world, I have trained so many corporations in the secret companies, and they understand people through the body language, how to understand people, because body speaks 93% and there are only 7% words. So you need to develop some intelligence, like when people talk, so how do they use their hands? Like if you notice, I'm using my hands like it seems like I'm more sincere to my client and to my listeners. So your hands always work like this. But if I put my hands like top upside down, so it shows a superiority. So people are not judgmental, but people understand you. It's a power, it's an energy, what you can reflect over the people. Like how do you talk? If you're talking to the people, I know leaders have a different kind of body language. Why? Because when leaders listen, they look somewhere else. They never look into your eyes, because when they feel like when they get a look into your eyes, it's like they are followers. So when followers listen, they look into your eyes. So need to know, like the leaders have a different body language. When leaders listen, they always look around, okay, and they don't look into your eyes. They have a different, their converses is different. But at the same time, the leader, people listen you through your body, how your body talks. This is what I could experience with a different kind of CEOs. They had a different walk. Once, like there are 100 people like sitting up, standing up there. So you easily can recognize who's the leader, because the leader have the very confident body language, all right? And uh, if you see that they are always, they are always ready to give you, right? Like the Jesus, they're ready to give you, they forgive you, and they forget. So leaders have a different kind of tone. Leaders, like you can recognize leaders by their questions, because leaders have different kind of questions, right? And these always helps you to grow up by questioning. I personally had an experience working on the leadership positions, and I personally experienced like I had a very different communication, and I helped the people to grow around me. And then I have been deployed to another facility, because I was giving trainings to all my people. I was empowering them. I was delegating my lot of things, because I've had seen like if I have 10 things, so I've been like delegating my work to the people. Even they had no that certain capability, but I trained them for it, right? And I trust them. I trained them and I trust them, and then I followed them. And I've been asking them, what you're going to do, like if in the situation, if something happens, like ill structured problem, because leaders incorporate, they are spending a lot of money on communication. So what happens in communication, mostly people, leaders know like what they're going to do, like in certain situation, but they have no idea if something unseen or unpredictable happens, or the coming into their things. So there, people again need to go back onto the board. So we need to, as a leader, like we already have designed so many, and it's our job as a leader to go inch by inch to design like what kind of situation can come, and then we need to design it like how to deal with it. So I empower the people around me, and uh, they started to work. Even like the guy, like he was not much educated, but I told him like how to even go for the emails. So he started to send emails. So another guy, like I make him responsible how to look into the administrative work. All right. So administrative work was divided into the different people. All right. So it's all about like how do you see the organization and the company and definitely the people, because organization is by the people. All right. So we have to work with the people and we have to empower them by equipping them with all kind of solutions, because leader is a solution. Okay. So the law of respect, what the missing factor from today's world. Why? Because a lot of employees in the leaders in the companies, they are missing one factor, that is a respect. So they feel like we don't feel great while the people are shouting on us. So being a leader, we need to bring a lot of respect into our work. What I could see in the corporate, because it's always very abusive, all right? So law of respect doesn't mean like respect never goes from bottom to the top. No, respect always comes from top to the bottom. All right. So being a company leader is your job to give respect to your junior, and his responsibility is to give respect to his or her junior. Right. So respect. If you look at its diagram, so respect always comes from top to the bottom. All right. Because already 90%, 80% of workload is always, been shifted on to the 10% people or the 20% people of the company. So we need to give respect to our super junior, and it must come from top to the bottom. Well, so let's look at the leadership styles. Okay, so at same time, sometimes you can make a bunch. All right, so you need to learn, because leadership is about a practice. Leadership again is a choice. Okay, so you're going to be working with the people and you learn one skill, one business leadership style, and you can apply, you can practice with your people, because leadership is a style. It's like action. Okay, so your action will reflect like what kind of leader you are. All right. I knew one guy, his father started a company with 40 people. And after 40 years, the same people are working in the same company. In last 40 years, not a single person is quit from that company. They all are working together like a family. You know, and they all work like a team member. Here, we really need to talk about the team player or the team leader, because as a leader, you are a team player, all right? And it is just like if you see the sports, if you see the cricket, it's very popular on subcontinent in UK, So in cricket, like what happens if the batsman like play a shot? So, and if one fielder is missing he's missing the ball. So the other fielder, like he leaves his position, he's ready to leave his position, and he comes and picks up the ball. He is stopping that boundary. So the point is, in a team, okay, in a leadership team, so you're already ready, you are there to back up your people. All right. Well, so the key of our today's style of leadership in our business is, there are two things what we are getting massively focused. Number one is the decision making, and number two is meeting the deadline. Because by end of the day, we are supposed to work for external client, being a management and internal client, they are working together. All right, they must work like a family. And being a leader is your job, like to take care of people like working with you. All right, your internal client, because we all are together. If the external client is buying any stuff from the company, so he is also buying the stuff for the intimate relationship. So there are three most important clients, and they are working into the triangular, you know, uh, internal client, external client, okay, and the intimate client. We all are together here for the intimate client, and we want to give them everything ready at the top quality. All right. So the two things we really need to know at here being a leader, that today the styles we're going to learn, like, so always remember, we're going to talk in perspective to decision making and meeting the deadlines. All right. So we're going to give everything in a proper way, okay? All right, so there are different styles of leadership in business. So all leadership, all leadership styles like can be implemented in a different kind of business. So we will discuss a little like how they work for your company in the business. So number one is the democratic or the participative leadership. And I personally have been experienced this. I always invited my inner circle people and the people around me. I always wanted to get the feedback or to make a decision, though it gets a little late, but you have to be a little preemptive and you got to be bit, you have to take initiative early because by the end of the day you have to create a dependability, and along with dependability you have to create the things before the time. Okay, so democratic leadership have certain ingredients. If you are a democratic leader, or if you want to lead people in your corporation, in your company, so you need to know like this is the recipe. Okay, this is the recipe of democratic style. Number one is the inclusive and the participative. Which means you invite your inner circle people or the people internal client. You got to invite them, and if you got to make any kind of decision regarding the production or sales or the marketing or the research. Okay, you want to revamp your organization, so you first take people around you. So it's an inclusive type of leadership style, and it's more collaborative. Okay, you work like a team, you work like a family, and you invite everyone to participate and give their opinion, and you are ready to be listened. And then the third characteristic, like the democratic leader or the participative leader, is the effective communicator. All right, so the communication is the key. And in last 100 years, what we could, as a trainer, as an English language interpreter, what we could learn is the worst thing like we couldn't do in our life is like we have not learned like how to communicate, because we don't know how to speak to the people. And like in NLP, like here I would really do a little talk about the NLP. What happens? The morning time is not the great time for the meeting, because in morning time the person's brain working very sharp, okay, and the people, because the mind, if we get a divided into three parts, so the superconscious, all right, the super brain, and the subconscious. So we most of the time we live in our subconscious. So in the morning time, the superconscious is very much active. All right. So the superconscious is 20%, which is 100% active. So morning isn't a great time like go for the meetings. The great time for the meetings to make decision is the evening time, because with the passage of time we get a little sluggish because we are growing up with the sun and we are really going down with the sun. All right, we're also setting. So with the passage of time, we get into our external prime time. Internal prime time is when you get up, you are feeling you are much energetic. You are feeling so powerful in the morning. So the morning isn't a great time. Okay, like if you want to we've been doing like this biggest mistake. We like if you have a meeting, so if you want to win over some meeting, okay, with your external clients, so better to don't offer someone like for the cold drink always, to don't offer any kind of the hot tea or the coffee, and always offer them with the cold drink, because that like the person really comes down and get back into that 80%. So that's the best time like to win over that and you can influence it more. So the NLP also playing really a pivotal role in leadership, and definitely emotional intelligence. We need to know like how do people feel in different situations, and how do you feel, and how to respond to any kind of query or any kind of situation. Well, so in democratic or the participative leadership, there is always a trust building. Okay, you all are together, empowered, and you all are looking in the same direction, and you want to win really something great, okay, with the help of company. So this style also has a sportive and the empathetic environment. Being a leader, so you are more sportive. You're always asking and following up with to your internal client and ask them, like, how can I help you? You'll always ask them, how can I help you? You're always ready to listen, all right? And you always accept the greatest things from someone, right? So it's all about like the vision. And in top companies where people, the inner circle is bigger, so out there, mostly people believing to go with the democratic, like the Apple or the Microsoft or the SpaceX. Over there, the people are democratic. People have certainly like have acquired the same level of skills. All right, so they love to work in that approach. So in democratic, there can be with a little variation. There can be some certain more leadership style. This we call it the collective leadership. Okay, in collective leadership, they all get together, like it happens in a Google, like the people decide and the people get together because they have to work together. They look at all the boundary spanning and all the processes together, and they decide it, and they get to the better conclusion. Okay, and the democratic leadership and the license-fair leadership, and later on we get to see in details about the license-fair. It's the very popular leadership style of the Warren Buffett, because he has developed the greatest companies all over the globe, and the people working within is like have played this amazing role. So out there they have the different they are also democratic, but with the laissez-faire leadership style. So there's one more the consensus decision making. Like it looks like the democracy. Like if there are 10 people and 6 people say like we're gonna do in this direction, and other 4 people, so they are ready to listen and they go for like the in a democratic way. Okay, so the autocratic style is unlike to the first one. And in the autocratic style, it mostly you see in where the organization, they go through the crisis, all right? So the key is crisis. If you are going, if your company, if your business, or if you are a government, if you're an army, if you're any kind of organization. So if you are going through this certain kind of crisis happens in your life, then you have the autocratic leadership style. Why it happens? Why? Because and it's within if you see if the communication, it's always worked from the top to the bottom. Like always, instructions come from the top, and there is no excuses. All right, and by end of the day, by hook or by crook, you are supposed to take actions on the instructions. All right, which is coming from on the top. So there's a little bit autonomy with the team members. They are not so much empowered in that particular way. Why? Because the top leaders out there, they feel much empowered and feel like we can make a better decision. So and here, like resistance to the feedback or the criticism isn't appreciated in this particular style. So autocratic style says like there is a totally control. You have a control over the organization. So key is crisis. Okay, the next is the delegative or the laissez-faire style. In this style, what happens, your company is large, okay, and the company is really skilled very high. The people are working like with the great skills and the knowledge. Like if you see the Berkeley Shire company or the Warren Buffett company, you see like they believe in working the delegated because they already have acquired and have the people working out there. They have immense abilities and the capabilities. So out there, the delegated style works in a better way. So there's not much involvement there from the top. They just give any kind of idea like we are supposed to get this done. So people already know like how to get it done. So they don't get much involved in these kind of things. So there is a limited guidance or direction or the feedback from the top company. So all top great company, the top tycoon companies, they have this kind of style. And then you see the minimal interference or no need of controlling to control the organizational kind of departments of the work. So that's the beautiful one. And here again, the people have a lot of knowledge and skill. That's why they don't need to be controlled. They already know the process in each and everything. Okay. So next is the strategic leadership. And according to this, like the key is the motivation, influence, and the guidance is given by the organ, to achieve that, they have uh, the guidance to help achieve an organizational goal. So motivation and influence and guidance is there. I feel like here in strategic, like this is a company where if you go to hire not very highly experienced people, so out there like this, it's going to be great. And the top leaders, like they're always helping other leaders, like to go in to achieve the organizational goal. So the basic characteristics of this company are like the foresight to look forward, to look forward, to look toward the future of the organization, because they have clarity, like what's the future of it. So everyone is growing up, they whatever they start from that company, from the position level or from any kind of level. So the next is the open communication with their employees. They talk very freely and openly with this strategic leadership style. So you're going to be choosing your leadership style, and you need to know better, like what is the size and what is the level of your company. And with the once you scale up your business, so you accordingly will choose your leadership style. So here, the constant drive to make improvements, both oneself and the organization as well. Like they are helping, they are equipping the leaders, and they are giving that kind of environment where the people can grow. Here, like you need to work more on your internal client to get that result from your external client. So most of the time, like the sales managers, like they gather a team together to do the motivational speak. So here, sometimes because the motivation level is down, so they always pump up people like to get uh, first off to get the better results for the company to achieve the company's mission and goal. And most of the time, the companies like if they want to achieve something within no time, so they have the strategic leadership style. Okay, so there is a transformational or the visionary style, and I personally believe in this because if you are hiring a person who is not replacing you after a couple of years as a leader, so you cannot work like with them, all right? So even a student or even like your internal client, if you hire them, so they must replace you after a couple of years. So there are four eyes we need to understand here if you are transformational visionary leader. So number one is idealize influence. All right. Number two is inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individual consideration. So you you work with the people in collective, and at the same time you work with them alone as a leader. You help them to grow. Because if people start with you at your company, the position level, it's your job to help people to grow and to grow from position to the next level, okay, to the relationship level. This is we call permission level, okay. So being a leader, you help people to travel and to grow from one level to another level. And by the end of the day, you have to create 60% people like you. So, but everyone in your company is on a different level. So it's your job to work with them and stimulate with more and more intellect, okay, and inspire them by doing something great. So that would help you to achieve your vision, your goal, and your mission and your deadline. So I would acknowledge to the visionary leaders, like they help their company a lot, and a lot of great stories are there, like they transformed their company from beginning and to they later on, like they became the top companies in the world. So the next is a transactional leader. So this is
Okay,
a managerial
Dr. Mike,
kind of. Hello.
Dr. Mike, can I ask you to round up, please? Because we still have another speaker coming in. So
All
if
right.
you can round up, please.
All
So,
right. So
but
just give me.
we still want to see all the slides. So if you can stroll it down,
All
so at
right, just
least
give me
even if
5 to 7 minutes. I get it concluded right now.
yes,
With the
yes.
transactional leadership, what happened being a leader? So you transact. It means you give a consideration to your internal client, and in response, you get something. Like if you ask your internal client, if you gotta achieve this, so we gotta arrange your foreign tour. So you give a motivation You bring the contingent reward or recognition that you're going to become the man of the month or man of the year. You will get certain bonus or commission with the help of this transactional leadership. It also applies, especially like when we've been working in the business process outsourcing. It worked a lot out there, and we achieved the biggest goal and the very top goals in our company. The next is the coaching leadership. And the coach is my most favorite. Why? Because we right now in our company, we need a service heart and we need the coaches who can help people and to go along with their internal client. Coach is just like a person, like you see soccer, cricket, or any kind of sports. One team wins, they love to go to their coach by end of the game. Why? Because they want to give all the credits to their coach. And coach is very happy. He is really beaming for the success of the company's internal client. They love to see their internal client winning. All right. So the coaching leadership, because they eat at the end, they always help people to accomplish more and more in the company. So this is an amazing coaching style, the leadership style. So here we need the compassion, self-awareness. We need empathy into our work, collaborate more and more, and need to know about the performance and the scaling of the person. Okay, and then the communication matters a lot. What kind of communication can help you like to achieve what you? So the next is bureaucratic. It's much like the autocratic style. It's a bureaucratic because again here the decisions are centralized. Everyone is not allowed to participate in decision making, or everyone is not allowed to make decisions. So a clear chain of command is there. Is clarity. Like if I will get some instruction or the order from the top, so I'm supposed to follow this up in at any condition. The next is the pace setting leadership. In this leadership, you help your internal client by giving them motivation, or you always, like Tony Robbins, you love to raise the people's standards. Okay, and you always raise the high performance standards by leading examples, or by giving some result orientation. And the preference for speed and efficiency is out of here, because you want to get something within no time. You have limited time and you have to achieve something bigger than the box. Then you go with this pace setting leadership style, and you work like a coach, as a motivator, as an influential. You come up with a lot of things. Next is the situational leaders. We see a lot of situational leaders in different companies, like the Paul Harris says, the co-creator of the situational leader model is the people differ in their ability and their willing. Ability and the willing are the key points here. We need to understand them. So we have to bring so many things into our leadership. Sometimes you're going to be bureaucratic. Sometimes you're going to be motivational or the coaching style. So you're going to be choosing that situational leadership. It brings a lot to the leader, and you really need to do other leadership style as well, like if you want to get your things done. So there are 5 models for the leader if you want to train one person, because here it's very important, like because you need at least 40% people in your company. Okay, they must be at your level. So level number 1 is a modeling. You got to do it. Okay, and the person you are training got to see you. And the mentoring at this level, you will get that person to do it, and you will see. And then you will just see him doing it. Okay, then you need just monitoring. So the first 3 steps are more important. Then you need motivation, and you will see you will replace. So the person trained will become model, and another person will come and see. So this is 5 strategies for the leaders they can apply to train more leaders into their companies. So highly appreciated for your time. I know you have more speakers around you, and they're gonna be speaking more. I'm feeling so honored. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity today to give my talk on the leadership. Appreciate it.
Wow, wow, wow. What interesting that you've really see us, go take us through to understand in depth on leadership. I like the way your style. I like the way you started with a story to prepare our mindset and also to put us in a situation, in a position of curiosity. What is he going to talk about now?
It's, I mostly love it, the goose bumping style, like always, hey,
Ye-
just pushing the people, hey, you're gonna do it, right?
Exactly,
So I'm
exactly,
just like,
exactly the point. I like your style of presentation, which
it's a
is
choice. It's a
excellent.
choice. Seriously, it's a choice. Even
Yes.
sometimes a lot of people say, hey, Mike, where you get this energy? Where you get this energy? I
Mm,
don't know. What
mm,
I get on any project or anything, so I don't know where I get this
yes.
energy. I get
Yes.
connected with special kind of energy. So
Mm.
this is what really helps and motivates me and motivate other people.
Yes, thank you so much. Will you be able to put
Thanks.
the slides down? And let's see
Can you please
those.
open up the screen?
No, put the slide down, sir. Your slide. Your slide is still
Oh,
on the show. If you can
okay.
close your sharing.
Okay.
Yes. So that we can see our faces.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait a second.
I know we are all working on this technology.
Just wait a second.
Right. Yes,
Yes.
yes. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Very interesting. Thank you so
Really
much.
appreciate it.
We've really
Thank you. Thank
listened. Everything was really well explanatory. And
you.
I believe that we all enjoy as well as learning great, great informations that you've shared with us this afternoon. So I want
I
to
really
say
appreciate it.
thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank
really
you so
appreciate to
much.
all of you guys. Thank you for your patience and most importantly, like the professor, Dr. Mercy.
Yeah.
She's been talking about the communication and really appreciate it. You
Critical,
have given a
yeah.
great perspective of communication. So communication is only completed when you get the response from your listeners.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations, you really
And
have shown up something really out of the
and
box.
you've got some response from some of them. They've said thank you. This is massive.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
everyone.
for
Take
the
care. Bye-bye.
deep teaching. And they say that was comprehensive. You know, great leaders are commenting on your presentation, which is really, really amazing. Thank you so much. Before you go
Really
quickly,
appreciate it.
maybe one or two people want to ask question quickly, so that we can move on.
Yeah.
Any question, any comment quickly? Because, I mean, good as presentation deserve response. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's
Okay, Dr. Samina.
wonderful. Yeah, it is
Thank you,
wonderful.
Samina.
And I thank you so much. It is full of knowledge and very much amazing. And
Highly appreciate it,
we,
Dr. Samina
yeah,
and Dr. Amber, yeah,
Thank you so
Professor
very
much.
Dr. Mercy,
helpful.
and Steve Kamra,
Thank you.
and Subarata. I'm sorry, like if I'm pronouncing wrong, and the Samuels and Lati. Oh,
Elizabeth, and you
yeah.
are doing my job already, so keep mentioning their names. Thank you so
I have
much.
been a
Thank
leader.
you.
You remember people's name in your company.
I
Like
know,
that's a
I
Great
know.
leader. Great
Thank you.
leader.
thank you.
Great leader. So thank you so much, sir.
Really appreciate
Dr.
it.
Mike Litman from USA. Thank you so much for your great presentation. We've really learned a lot. First of all, we want to say sorry for the loss of your sister's baby. We're really concerned about that. Sorry about that.
Actually,
It's one of
eight
those.
8 months ago, my wife passed away.
Oh my
Uh,
God. So
yeah,
you have a
I
lot of
yeah, and she like the young baby born just right after 6 month pregnancy. So we are really taking care of her, and now she is doing great. She born in just 6 months, and
mm,
consequently, my wife passed away. So now I have three sons and one daughter. So
mm,
we are taking care of them a lot. So that's what like you have given me a favor. I couldn't talk to you yesterday and a
mm.
day before. We had been like through the serious issues.
And
Uh, yeah,
we are very sorry about the loss,
Yeah.
and
He
God will
is in the
continue.
safe hands. He is
Mm,
in the safe hands of Almighty God.
mm,
And
yeah.
everyone has to go there. And
You're absolutely right.
yeah,
Mm.
she is, I think she is in a good place.
Okay.
And yeah,
So accept
God
all.
bless her. And
Amen.
you, yeah,
Yeah, so we keep
this,
praying for God to uphold you, to comfort you,
yeah,
and also to be there for you, because He's already promised us all that He will never leave us nor forsake
yeah,
us.
yeah,
So
yeah.
stay strong, Dr. Mike.
Mm.
Stay strong, and God will continue to uphold you. And we pray for your entire family, that God will protect
Cheers,
them,
everyone.
God will
Thanks very much,
save
everyone.
them, and
Thanks.
God
Appreciate
will
it.
wipe away the tears and turn the mourning into happiness. So accept our prayers and accept our condolences. And still, you are brave enough to come back and teach us on leadership, and you've done very well. So I believe that that's part of the process of healing of heart, when you don't let whatever you are going through to hold you back, you know. And you've done very well. You are a great leader, and you have just experienced, you just demonstrated the power of being a leader in the society. And we really appreciate your courage. We appreciate your strength. We appreciate even the boldness to be able to teach this morning. And we also appreciate the fact that you are not alone. We are all with you. And we will continue to bind or put ourselves together. So thank you so much. With deep
Appreciate it.
gratitude, we appreciate you, sir. And
Gratitude. Really appreciation, everyone.
my WhatsApp, my messenger is wide open for you, sir, if you want to
Appreciate it.
talk, if you want us to,
Yeah.
if
Really appreciate
if you want to express your emotions and other things. So you are not alone, and God is with you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mike Litman.
Jesus told us that I am going to make a place for you. So where I am, you live with me. So she is with the Jesus, and she is not alone. She is in the safe hands